everyone, and welcome to RDY VIP episode 6. Now, we just closed the books on episode 5, and what an incredible episode it was. We had 2 music videos, 3 segments, and a whole suite of incredible interviews for you to enjoy. And episode 6 is no exception to that method. We are going to continue to bring incredible vibes, great music, and wonderful interviews. And on this episode, joining me is our very special guest, Brian FÄMM, aka DJ FÄMM, aka Master FÄMM, aka the FÄMM legend, and one of our founding RDY VIP fathers, Chris King. How's it going, guys?
How's it going, guys? I really appreciate you guys having me. I cannot wait for this episode and talk about just anything and everything with you guys.
Woo! What's up, everybody?
Always good to have you back on, Chris. And FÄMM, I'm so excited to have you on too, because I got to see your set live for the first time at the Gold Rush DJ competition last year, 2024. And you brought it. You were shaking the dang house. And so I was really excited to see that. Then I got to meet you in person, super cool vibes. We started to talk on Instagram. And I just love your enthusiasm and connection to the music that you play and the crowd and the energy that it creates. And so we wanted to bring you on to share that energy with our audience here on RDY VIP, and you get to be our VIP this episode. So what's going on with FÄMM? What has been your 2025 like?
So it's been a really good start to the year so far. I have a couple of things lined up. My next upcoming show is next Saturday, actually, a week from today,
Whoa,
on the 25th, opening for Versa. It's gonna be
nice.
a really heavy show. So if you guys are free, I'll be there.
I'll be there.
But
Oh, Chris has his tickets. He hasn't shut up
Dude,
about
oh,
it.
yeah. This
He's
is
so
wild. Oh, yeah.
He said you were the headliner, so I mean.
I'm Versa who? Sorry, Versa.
it's I've been waiting for it. It's been about 2 months since we got announced for that show. So it's been just the anticipation leading up to it has been building up, and I'm so excited for it. But it's been a good 2025. Just figuring out life outside of music, work, school, and all that. So it's been a good start. But just the end of 2024 leading into this year has just been incredible. I'm sure if you guys remember Decadence, that was
Yes.
Hell yeah.
seeing messages from you guys saying I couldn't get in because I maxed the capacity
Amazing.
out. There are no more headphones.
It was
That did
amazing.
not-
What was your color? Because it was all that color. Let's be real.
It was amazing. And just seeing the fact that it was closed before then because of the midnight drop, and then right back into a full packed crowd at 12:15 a.m.
Swarmed. I've never not been able to get into essentially a silent disco area, right? I mean, call it, give it whatever marketing spin you want, but like occasionally you get somebody in there who throws the hell down, and like, man, you did. It was just like when we celebrated for the Gold Rush competition, and obviously, like each time, like there's more and more and more, and like someday FÄMM's gonna red line out, but I don't know, I'll be there for it.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, we had our Decadence recap last episode, so we don't need to get too deep into the weeds about our experience, other than it was incredible. But I would love to hear about some of your favorite sets as the weekend as a DJ listening to the artist, because you have a different appreciation for the transitions, for the song selection, for the visuals and the amount of artistry that goes into it. And I think a lot of people don't necessarily understand the amount of finesse required to mix bass songs, to mix heavy stuff, because they don't always sync up.
That's a really good point because that's a big thing I have just picked up ever since I started DJing. It's just the natural habit of, okay, what is this person on stage doing? And why are they doing this? Oh,
Mhm.
that was nice. That was kind of weird. That was cool. It's always a thing that's in my head now when I'm at shows, when I'm not playing. It can be annoying at times. It's harder to enjoy certain shows here and there, but it's always cool to analyze it, especially it's amazing when I'm learning something new. I'm like, oh, that's a really cool thing that person did. I'm going to try that when I go home and see if I can add that tool to my toolbox. That's something that I picked up a lot of Decadence. Some of my favorite artists of all time were there. Sudden Death, the first day, was
Yes.
amazing. He tore it down. And then right after my set, I went right into ISO who is my biggest inspiration of all time. Um, his energy on stage is how I present myself. I learned it off from him. The way he mixes his music, just him in general, is always very inspirational for me. So seeing all of those artists and seeing some of my best friends, first edition throwing down, my best friend and mentor Desert Hydra throwing down at the ball drop. It was just cool. It's a good community out here. Seeing all of my best friends play these stages and seeing some of my biggest inspirations in one area.
Did you
I
have
l-
an ISOXO like ID in your mix at the Silent Disco?
I had a couple. I always tend to have 3 or 4 of his songs in my sets just because
That's
my
I
idol,
mean,
yeah,
you never know when he's gonna walk around and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna go check that out."
right?
ISO incredible. And then the whole ISO Knock 2 collab recently, just talk about setting your ears on fire.
I've been listening to that album. The new Noctu album dropped yesterday, and I've listened to it 6 times already. I was just in San Diego for Isonoc for that big show they had in their hometown. Easily one of the best shows ever. The whole setup of the stage they created, their introductions, the opening support cast, everything about it. It's just so inspirational. And ever since that weekend, it's just inspired me even more to just keep getting better at my craft. To someday be like eventually like them.
I love that. And you mentioned Sudden Death as well. And Sudden Death's Mellow Death collab with Marshmello is one of my all-time favorite. Like, talk about duality in music. It, if you look at it on Spotify, it's just green check marks all the way down because it all made it into my workout playlist. It's just like adrenaline, 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 adrenaline.
I agree. I saw them when they first did it at that EDC
No
Vegas
way.
2023 debut.
How
I
was
saw them
that?
for the first. It's just incredible seeing that live. And it's incredible seeing, especially such a niche genre like rhythm. It's a very underground, underappreciated genre. And seeing that at a big stage like Circuit Grounds
Huge.
with the screens all around you, it was amazing. And Marshmallow is so much more fun when he's throwing dubstep in the set. It just
Oh
brings
yeah.
the energy up even more. I've been craving a Marshmallow set ever since that one. So
Oh, me
that
too.
was,
Can we expect a little bit of dubstep mixed in there in the next show coming up? Yeah.
oh yeah, the next show is probably one of my heaviest sets I'm playing because
Oh,
the
yeah.
whole lineup is dubstep. It's gonna be fun. I have been on a sudden death bender lately, listening to a lot of his music again. So we'll hear a couple of
Awesome.
it next weekend.
Super excited for that. And it sounds like we're talking a little bit about some of your favorite artists and influences. And we've mentioned ISOXO and Sudden Death. Are there any other artists that just really speak to you? You want to give us a top five? I love a top five list.
Easily. So my biggest top 5 inspirations for me personally are a lot of my good friends around here in the scene that have just helped me,
Awesome.
taught me, and just inspired me to do a lot more. My best friend, Desert Hydra, he taught
Desert
me
Hydra.
he taught me basically everything I needed to learn about the DJ. When I got booked for my first show, I didn't know what I was doing. He helped me get everything ready for that one. My second biggest one would be Mamba, one of my biggest
Yes.
inspirations for music. He makes amazing music, and he threw down last weekend at the Van Buren.
And
He
he
is
just dropped a song with whipped cream on Spotify.
he is amazing. Who else is there? One of my good friends, Zeus, very
Nice.
underrated artist.
Zeus.
He makes some beautiful music. Check him out.
We were just sharing his music in our little secret RaveDaddy chat the other day. So, um, Jeremy, our like official Wook mascot and friend, he is always blessing our ears with some of the filthiest rhythm and dubstep and wobble you can muster. And he sends the album to me, and I was like, oh, oh, this is delicious. And so I just started scooping it up like caviar, man, and green check marks all the way down.
100%. Even first edition, Dax, I know he was on one of your
Yes,
recent episodes.
FE.
My big trap brother. Trap is a very underrated genre out here now, and he is my best friend that loves trap to death with me. So those are my biggest inspirations locally, especially.
Okay, so that's a top five local, and that's a huge shout out. Love to be able to help represent the local DJs and music scene and in general the platform. We have a firm believing here at Ready VIP that if we give you guys the opportunity to have this platform, that you will use it to lift each other up. And so that is exactly what we were hoping to hear. But let's peel back the layer because that's a top 5 local. I want to go a little bit deeper. Give me the good top 5. Give me the spicy top 5. Give me the top 5 that we can tag in some shit.
Ooh, that's a great question. Top 5, number 1, 100% would be ISO.
Okay. Yep.
Oh,
Yep. Yep.
just
Yep.
can't beat
Who's
that.
that?
ISO XO will be for sure number 1. Number 2, ooh, that's a good one.
Number 2 spot's always harder than number 1. You got your favorite special in your heart, but then number 2 comes along and you're like, could they be number 1?
Huh. Number 2, honestly, would be Elenium. I know
Yes, very nice.
curveball. He
Love
got
it.
me into EDM. I am a huge sad boy at heart. That is my go-to. Elenium is always going to be the biggest one for
Sad,
me. Yeah.
EDM sad boys.
Yep.
Okay,
He got me into this EDM in general.
nice.
And my first ever music festival was seeing him live. So he has a special place in my heart. Number 3, even in the same ballpark, Slander would be a big one. Number 3
Yes,
for me.
excellent choice.
Yeah.
Number 4, let's see here. My big rhythm heart will always infect. One of the best rhythm artists
Okay,
out there.
nice.
The Rhythm Don. I'll be my number 4. And then number 5 would be Saturday.
Okay, that's a heavy top 5, man.
Yep.
I like it. I think it was a very choice. It shows a lot of your influences. I think that's good too. I mean, like, I love it when local DJs play local music, and when you can put that side by side next to somebody like Sudden Death or ISO XO, not only is it just a huge comeuppance for another DJ, but man, you belong there, and it feels good.
It really does. Yeah.
So, we talked a little bit about your next shows. What's the year ahead look like for you? Do you have any big plans, any tour you want to do, any show you really want to see?
So I recently submitted a mix to try to get a chance to play Dance Festopia in Kansas
Nice.
City. Yeah, they're doing this big thing called the Yellow Brick Road Tour, where they're choosing finalists, kind of like the Go competition, but they're stopping in major cities throughout the U.S. and they're doing like a mini competition, and then kind of the same concept. The winner will be able to play the festival. So that's something I'm still waiting on for the most part. They're coming to Phoenix at the end of February, so
Ooh, soon.
we'll see about that. And then other than that, just kind of playing. If I have a smaller booking that on the 7th of February on Mill at Varsity, opening for one of my friends, Opion, who's one of the bigger rhythm local DJs out here. Um, that all the money that gets raised for that show is going straight to the LA Fires.
Awesome.
So that'd be a cool
Oh, that's
little
huge.
kind of charity fun event we're doing with some of my friends. And besides that, nothing too crazy. Just I have some small shows in the works right now for later in the spring, but currently my biggest thing for 2025 is just starting to learn how to make music. 2024, my biggest priority was just getting to the ropes of DJing, learning the craft of DJing, just strictly how to mix music and make cool mixes and everything. But my biggest goal is to start just dipping my toes into making music. And it's not even like, oh, I need 10 full tracks of my own by the end of the year. It's just more of like, okay, let me learn how to make this. How do I make a mashup of 2 songs? How do I learn how to make edits of this vocal of this song with this cool song and combine it? So having that, I feel like will allow me to just keep the ball rolling and just get myself to the next level as a musician.
Love that. And it's good to have those goals to set, that growth path for you because even if it's a slow process or it gets harder, every time you're like, I'm going to learn something new. This should be a breeze. And then you get into it and it's not. There's like 1,000 things you didn't know about. And there's 1,500 things you have to learn before you can get to the things you don't know about. It's a lot, but the courage it takes to, do it anyways and to start diving in and to set that path is how you accomplish it. Because at some point you weren't a DJ and now you can look back and be like, dude, I did that show. I got that show coming up with Bursa, right? The inner child gets happy because you're like, I did the thing. I'm so happy for myself. And so you're on that path. And the next time we have FÄMM back, we're going to be like, so how's that production going? And you're going to be like, dude, I did the thing.
That is a really I can't imagine it. I used to have a lot of my friends there. Like it's just a different feeling clicking play on your track and hearing it on big speakers. Like I made this stuff, I made this music, like, and now it's just being played to a couple hundred people. I cannot wait to just dip into that and hopefully get that feeling one day.
You get several
Chills.
thousand of us freaking out all at the same time. having a
Yes.
great time. You get our local legends right in the rail just for you and your fucking banger of a hit. Absolutely. Yeah. I have a question though, right? So you spent the last year like learning the art and the craft of DJing, and a part of that is absolutely reading your audience, right? And maybe making adjustments if you can, right? How does a person possibly do that with rhythm music, my good sirs?
So that's a great question. A lot of it for shows in general comes down to who I'm playing the show for. For example, Decadence was a lot more of a multi-genre. It's a multi-genre. It's a music festival, right? There's a lot
Yeah.
of different genres going on. So I mixed in a lot of ISOX, sudden death, hip hop, wonky stuff, straight heavy dubstep rhythm. It was a lot more of a festival set. It really depends on what kind of show I'm playing. For example, in October, I opened for Nurko, a very big melodic dubstep artist. So it was a lot more like an Millennium set, which like more feel good stuff,
Mm.
euphoric stuff with a little bit of heavy dubstep, but then for Versa, obviously, straight dubstep, straight rhythm. So a lot of my set for this one comes down to just okay, my crowd's gonna want everyone's there for just heavy rhythm, heavy dubstep. So this is what I'm going to bring. So a lot
Yeah.
of it comes down to just what show I'm playing, what's the vibe of the festival itself, what's the vibe of the show itself, and that's how you usually determine the set.
I really like that. You really like you do your research, right? And you figure it out like who's gonna be there. And absolutely. No, I appreciate that.
Live music, live editing, when it's like a mastercraft, is hypnotism. Flux Pavilion was on another podcast and he talked about the magic of just moving an entire crowd of people by changing a song or changing a tempo. And that in itself is a superpower.
I totally agree with that. And a lot of the times when I make a set too, it's always some kind of story to it, right? It's always like, okay, if depending on what time I'm on, if I know I'm like the second or third person on this trip before me, I can kind of come in a little heavier and just go for it, right? Compared to if I'm the first person on, people are still, you guys are still getting your tickets, walking and getting drinks. It's hard for me to just throw down a bunch of heavy stuff and now no one's really listening
Mm.
to it, right? So a lot of my sets really tell a story where I want to attract the crowd where it's like, okay, let me come out swinging a little bit. Let me get everyone kind of going a little bit. And eventually once we're kind of heating up, I'll be okay, now it's a good section for me to like maybe play a really good sing-along song. So a lot of the times when I'm making a set, I always try to have some kind of flow or story to where I'm just not like punching you in the face for 60
Mhm.
minutes or keeping it slow and making it slip for 60 minutes. But a lot of it's going to be, okay, here's a good part I want to pick up and get the crowd more hyped up. All right, beautiful. Everyone's hyped up. Let's just keep it going. All right, beautiful. I think everyone's getting a little tired. Let's play some really cool songs to sing along to shake ass, to have fun
Mhm.
to, and then bring it back up and bring it back down depending on what I'm playing, what kind of show I'm playing, what the vibes I'm feeling from the crowd too. So yeah, that's how I mainly do all of my sets. It's always some kind of flow to it. No matter if it's a super heavy rhythm set, I'm always gonna have some kind of flow to it, whether it's a more melodic bass set where I can tell a story a little easier, or just a straight rhythm set. I always have some kind of storyline behind it when I'm making a set at home.
I love that. It's almost like you're composing a movie soundtrack, but the movie is the
Exactly.
people.
I want to be
Exactly.
clear though. If you're at Dark Star and let's just be real, heavy bass is just going to act as a bug light to somebody like our friend Wook, right? And so, or many people around the area. And
A
so,
bug light.
your local rhythm rats appreciate it. You can open hard, you can stay just heavy and just go. And like, that's okay. They'll be attracted to the bug light.
100%. Even for shows where it's just like a showcase. Let's say, for example, we grab me and a bunch of just fun local DJs. Here's a cool little showcase to have fun with. With stuff like that, where it's like, all right, screw it. Let's just rip it for an hour. Let's have some fun with it. All of us are here to just have fun, enjoy it, hang out. So most of those times, I won't really plan too much of a set. I'll just be like, all right, these are some of my fun stuff I always play in the set. Just throw it in there. Let's have some fun and just throw down.
Is that the afters plans? Like you were at an afters recently, right?
I played my first after 12 gig and I played from 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. It
Damn.
was a yeah, it was a little rough leading up to about once I'm behind the decks, whether it's 5 in the morning or 6 p.m. It's always an adrenaline rush that gets me going for a
Oh,
while.
dude, it was
Um,
amazing. I saw you hanging outside the bus, I think, at one point.
yeah,
Ye-
even that Fillmore bus thing is so fun. Played that with a couple of my friends, but yeah,
That's cool.
at the afters, it's a lot more fun, free, loosey goosey stuff, right? I played about I stuck in hardstyle at one point in my set last weekend, just for the heck of it. It was my best friend's birthday. He loved hardstyle. I was like,
That's
you know
it.
what? It's 4:50 in the morning. Let's play some hardstyle. Had some fun with it. Played dubstep, played rhythm, played a little bit of house. It's an
Hell
after
yeah.
party. That's where I can kind of be loose about it. Play songs that I don't get the chance to play live often as well.
That's so cool. Now, what time is the nap? Like, is it like an 8 to 12 kind of a nap when you play at 4 a.m. or
So
you
I
just
know
go all? Yeah.
it's a great question. So usually I'm always going to some kind of show, and then it's just easier to transition to the afters. The one
Yeah.
night I don't go out, I get booked for an after party. So I took a nap until midnight, hung out with some of my friends that were going out
Okay.
with me. We wandered over to the afters at 3 and then hung out from there. But most of the time, it's usually some kind of show already. So I'm already kind of amped and still wanting a little bit more, which makes it easier. But
That's
there's
awesome.
times where I don't have that.
I had to know. I know there's a DJ out there that's just like, sitting around. They wake up at midnight. They play some COD to like get the blood flowing. And like, all right, I'll go do it. The thing.
You said Chris's favorite word, afters, and I knew this was going to be a full-on tangent, and I was like, I'm gonna just let this one happen.
Just
It's
need a
probably
moment. Thank you.
Yeah, I actually might have a potential afters works within the next couple weeks. So
Okay.
we'll see.
Slide in my DMs.
I got you.
Well, speaking of slides, let's slide right in here to our outro because we have a special question. I always like to save a little shake up here for the end of each segment just to keep people on their toes. I literally do not even tell the other host what I'm going to ask because I just like to mess with people a little bit. I like to, keep some of this just 100% genuine and live in a world where we're surrounded by artificial intelligence and constant bombardment of things that we don't know if it's real and genuine. Here on Ready VIP, we keep it 100% real, 100% genuine, and at least 50% chaos.
Totally about right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And that's 250% for anybody who's keeping track, but we didn't say this was a math podcast.
No, no.
So,
Love that.
our special question of this segment. When it comes to visuals, lasers, are you a lasers guy? Are you a visuals guy? And what's your approach to visuals behind you while you DJ?
Great question. I had my first laser, like lasers coming during my set at the after party last weekend. That was my first time ever having
Awesome.
lasers. And my friends recorded some videos, and I was like, dang, but like, I don't. But then recently, as of a couple months ago, I've been getting more into visuals. I currently only really have logos for the most part because I know visuals are a little more cost expensive,
Mm-hmm.
and it's an investment I need to make. And that's an investment I'm planning on trying to put more time into this year. Only thing with visuals that's really hard is just committing to what I want to be behind me. I feel like that's been the hardest thing. I wake up one morning and like one idea, but then I'm like, does that match me, or am I just trying to be cheesy? So I've been thinking about visuals a lot lately. I just haven't. I have a couple ideas. I just haven't like fully committed to anything yet. So I think currently would be lasers until I feel like when I come up with some visual ideas, then that'll take over.
Chris, visuals or lasers?
Ooh. All right. I love them both. They both have a deep, deep place in my heart. But I'm gonna have to go with visuals, honestly. And just because they can be so varied, right? Now, if you combine the visuals with the lasers and you have yourself a giant woolly mammoth shooting lasers out of its eyes, for example, or anything, frankly, shooting lasers out of anywhere, I'm here for it. But I really like visuals. And to your point, right, fam? Like, they can change up. They can even stay constant. Maybe at first it's just a cool logo, and it changes color, it changes direction. Maybe it's like the old DVD screen safe thing, and every now and then it hits the corner, and everyone fucking loses their mind. There you
Yep.
go. Free idea for you. I'm full of them.
Yeah, send me all your ideas when you have them so I can start logging them in.
There you go. You hear, listeners, send fam all your ideas. Just slide into his DMs. Be like, hey, I thought of another one.
Let me
Man,
know.
be
Good luck
prepared
to
for all
you.
the shenanigans coming into your DMs now.
All the inappropriate graphics. I'm sorry. No,
Okay.
but yeah, I do. So, and honestly, like, let's be real. Wooly, Excision, right? Like, there's a few really, really solid players in the game.
I agree with both you. I think that there is a different feel for both, right? Because lasers, it's one of those things where it looks cool in pictures, but live it's impressive, right? You're like, it's around me. And it's art with light. And I think that's what visuals really are is art coming to life. You're curating a artistic experience of both music and things that the audience is going to engage in visually. Um, I'm one of those people. I'm right down the middle. I love visuals. I love lasers, but I spend about half the time with my eyes closed listening to the music, anyways. So whatever is really going to hit home with that song that I'm going to really connect with. As far as like taking video, I really love when visuals set the tone because they can cast so much light that it changes your picture and your video. And it's like, man, the whole crowd is pink and blue. And I think that creates a really cool feel. But my favorite after a year of just festival and concerts is now flamethrowers. So speaking of Millennium, I saw the Millennium Return to Rawhide, right? And it was like um, Bonnie and Clyde, Crank Dat, Millennium. I think Mamba played that night
Mamba was
too,
opening. Yep.
right? And so what a just banger lineup. And at one point, Crank Dat's visuals were this like metal robot spider thing, and it had flamethrowers, and it shoots, and when it shoots, the
Yeah.
flamethrowers come off the stage, and the DJs are up there in Arizona. Man, Phoenix is not a metaphor. We literally are a city constantly on fire, right? And they're up there in 100+ degree heat in the Arizona summer, just flamethrowers, flamethrowers, flamethrowers. Ah! And that is the hardest a DJ can go, in my opinion. Confetti being like also a really like, especially if we can get some eco-friendly confetti, super cool moment builder. I saw that EDC Thailand was launching confetti just because, right? And I was like, man, why do we have to wait till New Year's for confetti at Decadence? In fact, why don't I have confetti on all the stages? We need more confetti. And so I'm I'm here for the flamethrowers and confetti, and I'm 50-50 with you on lasers and visuals.
I agree with that 100%. Pyros, lasers, or flames add so much more to it. I still remember my first time seeing Slander when they came here about 2 years ago now with Sudden Death as one of
Hmm.
their special guests on their tour a while ago. That pyro was hot. Especially being up front, yeah, it can
Yeah,
cook you a little bit.
100%.
But pyros, especially when done like perfectly with a nice nasty drop and just boom,
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
hits.
John
John
Summit was
Summit
like that.
roasted us. Yes.
Yes, Jinx.
He was saying the same thing. He was insane. I'm like, and what? It was still really hot that time of year. It was like 100 degrees outside still. Even
Plus,
in
yeah.
night. They're like, roast them. It was a good time, but I'm pretty sure
How
he
he was
also like
surviving up there, I don't know, man.
how he survived. He lit his cigarette off of it at one point.
He
Come on.
did, man. He's such a hardcore dude. So I think that was a fun way to end the show. Audience, feel free to always play along with whatever we're going to do. And I would love to hear your reactions too. Go to Instagram, go to Facebook, go to YouTube. You know, threads at RaveDaddy. Chris does the threads. He loves to thread
Yeah.
shit. And let us know, like lasers, flamethrowers, visuals, confetti. What's your top four? How do you rank it? Well, that takes us to our very last and final parting shots. Brian, is there anything you would like to say that you didn't get a chance to say? Anything you want to plug that's coming up that you didn't remember earlier? Or anybody you want to give a shout out to that you didn't already list in your top 5 DJs first before you said Lenium and Slander and all of that? Is there anybody or anything that needs to be said before we go?
Shout out the Construct boys playing before me. They always put on a great show. I'm playing with my best boys, Ripoff. They are amazing. It'll be a blast when we're all on stage together. And shout out Burst and his management team for having me out for the show as well. Other than that, I just appreciate everyone for supporting me. I would not be here at all without you guys, anyone else, everybody else. It's amazing seeing the love I always get when I'm playing these shows. It's surreal. It really is. It's just ever since I go to this competition, my life has been changed. If I'm being
Awesome.
100% honest, so I appreciate everyone for trusting me, allowing me to do what I love. Shout out to 11th House for always supporting me as well.
Mm.
Shout out to Riddim Syndicate, up and coming in the underground. keep an eye out for them. They are killing it right now in the game. And just shout out to all my friends for being there for me, always supporting me. Shout out to RaveDaddy. Shout out to all the guys for reaching out to me and always supporting me as well.
The power of friendship. Speaking of live shows by FÄMM, so in the segment here after this, we're going to play a 3-song mix, which is going to be like a little mini concert of your music and what people can expect when they hear it, with some of your videos and pictures overlaid so they can get to know you even from that far distance as we see you on the festival stage. So, what songs are they going to hear in our mini music video?
I'm going to be featuring 3 songs. First one is going to be by 2 of my really good friends and super amazing artists, Raindrop and Cacti. Shout out to them.
Woo!
Second one is actually going to be first edition.
Hey!
My trap bestie. And my third one is Zeus. All my favorite artists in one little mix.
I love that. And I love that you pulled in some Zeus there too, because like we were just talking about it earlier in the segment, and now they're going to be forced to listen to it. But one of the great privileges of being a DJ is introducing people to music they've never heard, and you're about to drop some filthy, filthy wubs.
Yeah, right. I appreciate you guys.
Of course. Do you want to say roll the music?
Let's roll the music.
You got it. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Welcome to segment 2 of RDY VIP. And I have two, for first time ever on the same camera, VIPs joining me today with Taylor and Jordan from the Slush Puppy.
What's going on? I'm Taylor.
I'm Jordan.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
I love having you guys on. So collectively, you make up the Perler business of the Slush Puppy, which I was so fortunate to get a piece of. Our VIP episode 2 hooks us up with these at Decadence, and boy, the story behind them is awesome. Go back and watch our Decadence recap, and you can find out all about this Perler. But today, it's not about this Perler. It's about the two gentlemen here who are kind of the Perler kings. Every piece of work I have seen has just been one amazing piece of art after the other. And so we really wanted to bring them on to talk about the community aspect of it, the artistry of it, and where that all fits into our festival scene here with RDY VIP. Now, you gentlemen are our VIPs, and I want to put the spotlight on you for a minute so that everybody can get to know you a little bit. Let's start out with the origin story. Can you give me the Marvel Chapter 1?
All right. So I'll start. I'll start, and then you get about halfway, and you can take it over. So our origin story is Jordan and I have been doing festivals. We've been best friends, close friends for quite a while now. Yeah. But it was specifically at Electric Forest this past year, 2024. So I had gotten a Kayawachi Perler. A close person, a close friend of mine bought that for me, and I took it out there, and it was my prized possession.
Everyone was gassing.
Everybody was gassing it up. They loved the Perler, everything. They just could not go without it, basically. And we had gone to Boogie Trio. We had gotten this backboard signed by Boogie T. It's in the other room.
No way. That's amazing.
It is incredible.
It's incredible. We dressed as the Denver Nuggets.
And we had him take a shot at the hoop from stage.
It was great.
Wow.
So we get this signed. I have the Perler. And Jordan and I then go from Knock 2 to Wooly to ATLians,
yeah,
and then finally was Black Tiger Sex Machine.
Incredible lineup.
So I'm in the pit. You know, all four of these back to back to back to back to back. Just like I can't leave. I gotta live here. I can't leave. And so at a certain
I know that feeling.
Like, I need at least like a second. I'm gonna go sit down. I'll come back, and I'm like, all right. So he goes and sits down, and I'm like, I'll go find him. He said where he was. He's gonna be by this tree. So I go back to find him, and I'm like, hey, what, you good, man? He's like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna, go back to camp though. Like, take a break. I'm like, all right, cool, bet. And he starts walking. I'm back in the pit, and I get a call from him, which it's like sometimes there's no service, but I get a call from him, and he's just
wow,
like, that Perler's gone.
Oh no!
Like, what? He's like, the Perler, it's gone. Like, I do not have it anywhere. So someone had taken it off him while he was asleep.
Because if I'm holding two things, I'm holding the Boogie T signed backboard.
Yes,
while
of course.
I'm sleeping on the tree.
Yeah,
so
100%.
Somebody took it off of my backpack,
and he was cradling the backpack.
I was cradling the backpack, cradling the backboard, and somebody took the Perler away in the forest.
At the forest of all places, too.
So
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Well, it spurred
the inspiration
things. So Jordan and I get back, and I'm still distraught about the Perler.
Of course.
And I looked at Jordan and I go, Jordan, I think we could just start making these.
He's like, we could probably make
make this exact same Perler. And this is some crazy Kayawachi Perler, and it's a giant skull, and it's like humongous. It's humongous. So then we basically came back and started making Perlers from there, started dropping beads, and since August, Jordan? I'd say
probably August.
August of 2024 is when we really started. Like the first Perler was really, really dropped.
Yeah. And
wow.
It was just, especially after the forest, like we already are very classically like rave dad style kind of guys, you know, like all about like here for like helping, you know. So that already being brought into making these perlers, it was such a natural like then progression into why shouldn't we just be making these like for the artists that are already doing art, you know, for us. It's art giving back to these artists.
Cheers me to that.
Cheers to that.
Art appreciates art, and it was just a natural transition into doing that.
That's incredible. And it looks like you have some of the setup there in front of you for what I have already seen has been one of the craziest pieces. Like when they reveal this a little bit more upright later on, you guys are gonna get a treat.
It's a wild one.
It's a absolute wild one. This one's for Fracture Sound.
Yep.
He's a DJ out of Denver, Colorado. He's like associates. He's actually on tour right now with Gorilla T.
Yeah,
nice.
So we had messaged him about a piece because we had seen he had made a post with a song with him and Gorilla T and messaged him, and we were like, can we please make you a piece? And he was like, absolutely, like go ahead and do it. So we're at this point now where it's pretty much done. We have a poll on the page.
There is a poll on.
There's a poll on the page.
What should we do?
What should we do to the skull? Add demon horns or a dragon wing, something like that.
Oh, can I weigh in?
Oh, please.
Absolutely, please.
Give it a halo.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's a good one.
I like
That's a good one.
Give
Yeah.
it a halo.
It's got a very like dark angel vibe thing going on, and like just the halo would take it to that next level.
It
I
was
was
like a stick halo.
Yeah, like right there. You put it on and you
Yeah,
just connect
false
it.
halo.
All right, we're on an interview.
I like that.
You can't get us going art
Oh,
inspo because
wait a
then
minute.
people are just gonna start looking at the piece and going, all right,
Maybe
well,
it's
we gotta put this here and then you gotta write this, so you gotta do
I
the
love it.
circle right there.
That's raw creativity. While we're riffing on this, that reminds me of there was this old like Disney. No, it was like I think it was like a Mickey Mouse Play-Doh cartoon. Anyways, he had like a halo, and he was like, "Oh man, I'm pretending to be good." But as soon as people walked away, he took a bite out of the halo, and it became horns. And I've seen that done in art where they make the halo a certain color up top, so it looks like it's shining, but down below it's like red or whatever. So if you look at it from a distance, it's horns, but when you're up close,
That's sick.
it's glow.
That's pretty sick.
That's
pretty sick. I think we could do something at least like that, dimension-wise, just based off of how the skull is sitting, because it's and nobody else besides you knows what we're talking about because you got the sneak peek of the piece that's on the table in front of us right now. But
Well, why don't you go ahead and show the audience? Since we're hitting.
Okay, Jordan's gonna grab the camera. And we'll take it and we'll show the audience what we're looking at here.
All right, here's what we got going on right now.
So how many
Let's see
hours
how-
did this piece take?
Oh
Honestly,
man, this thing.
Maybe 5 hours at this point. There's a piece that's right next to Jordan's head. That's a Grizz piece as well. So
That we made for
we basically kicked both of these out within
Wow.
1 day.
I
So
love
that's
that Grizz piece.
Yeah, the Murakami flower there.
Yes, that's incredible. You gentlemen are true artists. I love that. It looks so good, and I'm glad the audience got to take a quick view of it too. And we see some other amazing ones right behind you on the walls, which we can talk about in a little bit. But I'd love to give you mad props for the Excision jersey. We just saw Excision at Decadence, and man, what an incredible show that was.
That was absolutely.
Yeah, that really was. So this Excision jersey is actually from one of the Forest fam, like we had talked about with the birth of the Slush Puppy, and I actually was at the Levity the Levity Chicago show at the Radius, and
That's when you got that.
one of my buddies who couldn't make it ended up giving me this Excision jersey, and it is
Wow.
from the second Lost Lands ever.
Dang.
Ever. The second
why?
he's going out of the rave scene. We're going into it, and he passed it along as like one of these great rave fan members. Would
Amazing.
do that. But yeah, so he couldn't make it to the Levity Chicago show this past weekend, and what a
Well,
great gift to get.
Speaking of the Levity Chicago show, you guys were insiders to what happened, and I would love to hear a little bit about what was going on and what you saw and experienced.
So this guy got to go. I was back at home base, unfortunately, but this guy.
Cranking out
He
perlers.
has long stories.
Well,
he was relaying everything.
You know,
That guy was there.
That's why it's a duo, right? That's why you have two of us. Somebody's got to be finishing up the art pieces and dropping art, and the other one's got to be out there. So I actually had bought tickets, gosh, months and months ago when they had originally dropped, and they had sold out the first day. And booked all of this trip, went out there, met a couple of the Forest fam, and you know, everything. I want to just say everything started off absolutely fantastic. Um, Levity themselves, you know, did an absolutely fantastic job putting this on. It was a mini festival. They put on a winter wonderland because they're from Chicago. So, you know, if you got there before doors opened at 9, merchants, food, you could take pictures with Santa. They had a snow globe that you could like jump inside of, and then they had a lot of these local Chicago DJs spinning there before. And I know you saw we ended up getting on stage with Davert, or I ended up getting on stage with Davert with the Richard Finger piece because we had a whole bunch of
which were one of the 5 perlers that he brought with him that we made to give to Levity.
Yeah, we ended up getting 5 perlers to Levity. So, you know, everything's really started off great. The vibe was really fantastic. And, you know, shout out to, you know, Mary Droppins, Nikita the Wicked, and Levity, obviously, because, you know, as the night was progressing, everything was going well until halfway through Mary Droppins' set. So the group that I was with, the specific person, her name's Micah. She's a first responder. She has Narcan with her. And so basically, when we got to the rail at the end of Mary Droppins' set, like halfway through, you know, I have 5 perlers dangling over the wedge or over the wedge, waiting for John to come over and pick these perlers up. But as these things are going, people start dropping in the crowd. So like,
oh no,
Mary is stopping her set because people are like dropping down. You know, typical stuff. They put the flashlight out, shaking it so that everybody comes over. So you know, Micah and I are on the rail, and she's, excuse me, first responder coming through, like, you know, trying to check and trying to see what's going on. And so she responded to 2 specific of those events before Levity even got onto stage.
It's sad to hear that you know, people have to go through that experience, and my heart goes out to them. You know, I've seen a lot of that at festivals over the last couple of years. It is 100% why RaveDaddy exists. You know, the app is so that you can send an SOS out.
Exactly why RaveDaddy exists, right there.
And it's one of the things we really hope to in the future integrate with festivals and events is that they have people, you know, when you sign in, you can QR code, get the app, and then if something happens in SOS, it goes to the festival and not just your buddies. We love that it goes to your friends and family, but we want it to go to first responders, right? We want the people with the Narcan and the resources to be there, and it's a specific, you know, mission part of what we do. And so I appreciate you sharing that part of the story, but it sounds like there's a lot more to tell. So I don't want to interrupt too much.
It's honestly, we're basically pulling the first layer off of this thing at this point. So, you know, Mary Droppins does her set. Like I said, we had the 2 people go down. The third one, the lights come flashing up. Micah goes to run, puts her hand. Hey, first responder coming through, gonna check on somebody, and it's actually Levity coming to the stage. So the third one was a false alarm, and it was just security flashlights getting Levity to the stage. On one of the EDM train posts, I saw somebody post something about no water available, no free water, and I just want to shout out Levity at this point because as somebody who was on the rail, I watched Josh, John, and PJ hand out at least 1, if not 2, 24-packs of water. I personally got a water. 2 people behind me got waters. Everybody else on the rail got waters. So like they were doing their thing. Like I just cannot shout out enough like Levity doing their piece of the puzzle. So Yeah, I'm not shocked. I mean, just three great guys. Hand the 5 perlers to John. Obviously, John's been waiting for this Richard Finger piece for like a hot minute. We have a great picture on our story of John just like absolutely loving life, like super duper happy, like great moment, like super great moment in time.
And send me those pictures, audience.
Absolutely.
I will add them to this as we're talking, and you will get to check out the awesome pictures that he got.
Absolutely. Perfect. Yeah, perfect. So I was probably on the rail for like a good 45 minutes. At one point, Levity was going so hard that, I had to do the classic, I'm wearing a headbanger jersey. So I jump on the rail and I just start like flinging my head and just headbanging and doing
Amazing.
my thing. But, I had flown from Tucson to Chicago. 5 in the morning travel time. I landed at 3 o'clock. Micah picks me up from the airport. We go chill for an hour, and then we're at the Levity show. It's now 1:30 in the morning, and we're leaving. We're heading out. As we get to the curb, I had gotten an Uber for the two of us. We see a gentleman who's I don't know how else to describe it, but besides laying underneath or like next to a car tire.
Oh man.
So
right underneath the car tire. So it's like I think it was a taco stand or like a taco food truck. And this guy is laying under the tire, and we come out there, and Micah, being the first responder again, she just jumps straight into action. What is going on? Like, how did this guy get underneath this tire? She throws all of her stuff at me, so I have basically everything that she has. And these two guys drag this guy from like right next to a car tire. Like I'm not saying he's ran over, but like somehow this guy is right underneath a car. Like, and they drag him out. Micah tries to take care of everything, and see how that's going. This guy initially does not want help, and I don't know you, don't help me, blah blah blah.
This is Chicago, buddy. Yeah.
As a responder, as you know, if somebody does not want your help, at one point there's nothing you can do. So she wakes the guy up. She's telling him to lay down because clearly you just hit your head, or else you wouldn't be on the ground. And we get into the Uber from there. So that's where our night ends. The other half of our group, Jason and Anna, shout out Jay Blau, love that guy, Electric Forest fan.
Shout out Jay Blau.
Love it.
He is still inside of the event because he's a Midwestern local, and in the video that actually went viral online that everybody and their mother saw on EDM Train, where the attendee gets shoved through the door at the Radius Center, you hear the guy in the background going, "Hey man, you need to effing chill. Like, you need to chill out." That guy was actually Jason, like one of the Rave fam that was at the center with us. And so he saw everything that happened. And Jordan and I may look like daunting guys sitting here across the table from him, but Jason's probably 6'7". And so when he had a word with the security guard and said, "Hey, you need to chill," the security guard turned around to try and face this guy who was another 1.5 feet taller.
Yeah.
And,
okay, sir, I will chill. You're right.
Yeah. And basically chilled out from there. But what happened there is completely unacceptable from a security guard standpoint. Like, Jordan, did you think? Just seeing the footage from the outside.
It was absolutely crazy. It was crazy footage, to see. And who knows all the ins and outs? Who knows what happened? But at the same time, it's like you're gonna just shove a guy through a door and then actually like kick him while he's down.
Oh man, crazy festival and show stories, and that certainly is going to rank as one of the top, almost up there with getting your perler stolen while you were sleeping, clutching a Boogie T backboard.
And the last part to put onto it that Jordan and I really want to like dig into. obviously, hopefully, speedy recovery for everybody that got injured from the beam or
That
the part
beam
of the
that
roof
fell
that
down.
fell down, and I think it hospitalized 4 or
At
5
least a couple few people
from
right?
So-
from that.
Recap me on what happened there, because this isn't even part of the story. This is a whole nother thing.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. So what had happened was
supposedly.
no, not even supposedly.
I guess, yeah,
There's
actually,
footage
like,
of the
yeah,
beam
the beam
on the
on the
ground,
ground, yeah.
and so a piece of the roof had actually fallen down in the middle of Levity's set, and they had to
Dang.
stop the show early. So like we all got an email. Anybody that had a ticket saying, "Hey, keep your ticket," like blah blah blah. You know, who knows what's
Mhm.
going to happen exactly. But a beam fell down in the middle, and it's just it's terrible.
It's terrible.
It's just
It's
terrible.
terrible.
It's terrible.
It's
After
very
worry
sad to
about that?
see. I
Yeah.
used to live in Mount Prospect in Chicago back in the day, and so I understand that some of those buildings are also hell old, like
Absolutely.
decrepit
Absolutely.
in some locations, and like they need probably better inspections before you put somebody like Levity behind the
Yep.
biggest stacks mankind can muster and blows the. He literally brought the roof down. You guys realize,
And,
like, when they talk
and
about
that's what
bringing
I
the
would-
roof
and that's
down,
what
The
not to make
videos
light
that
of the
the
situation.
the videos I'll send you after this of everybody on the rail, because like I said, I was at the rail. I handed the pieces to John and myself. The crowd was going absolutely bananas, and it was a great environment until the beam fell down
Mhm.
and security.
Yeah, it clearly was not
But
Levity's fault.
nothing had to do with Levity whatsoever at all. They did their piece. They were fantastic for throwing an amazing event.
You can't blame the talent for how the crowd or anything else is going to
Or
happen
not, but
around
yeah,
them.
the venue.
Or the the security for the venue just completely unacceptable for treating people that way.
I mean, all around on the venues.
Yeah, all around on the venue.
Seems pretty.
And I'll say with some certainty that these experiences are usually the exception and not the rule when you go to festivals and when you go to shows, because most of the time
100%.
security is cool as hell. Most of the
Absolutely.
time the buildings don't fall apart.
Yes.
And so these all, perfect storm on a big night for all of this to happen. And I appreciate you guys being here to recap it with me. And so anybody who's a festival goer, or even like maybe they went once or twice and you watch RaveDaddy, don't let these events scare you from going, but it should certainly allow you to take a clear-eyed view and your approach to having a good time. You need to be prepared for when things go sideways. This is one of the reasons for the RaveDaddy app, is so that if things go sideways, whether it's like you're not feeling well, or there is somebody who goes down in the crowd, or the beam falls and you need a legitimate SOS, I cannot get out of here, right? It should only be one button away. And that is 100% what we're trying to encourage people to do when they go to festivals, is to look at it and go, not necessarily what can go wrong, but how can I protect myself in case things do? And so this
and
gives
not
people an
only-
easy out.
Not only do we appreciate you for having us on to talk about this stuff, but also for what you do out with all that. Like 'cause that is absolutely important, and it's saving people.
Saving lives.
It is like absolutely saving people.
That is really the hope, and it goes all over the world. We have had downloads in places where it is unexpected, and so I am really happy to see that progress, and I really hope that this becomes something that catches on at festivals, because yes,
It should.
It
It
should.
absolutely should.
100%. You got our backing with it, because it's the same type of mantra that Jordan and I are trying to portray of being there and
for each
helping,
other, helping each other.
learn. That's what it means.
Just-
That's what EDM means. Is a family.
It's a community. The fest is supposed to be like a community, an escape from what is the traditional, societal norm, into something where it is more of like a.
so we actually
Oh, here it is. Here it is. Hey, Bebop. Here's what it is. Here's the Boogie T signed backboard. You gotta.
That's incredible.
Here's the
It's got
Boogie
the
T
Gengar
signed
hat on it.
backboard right here for you with the homie Morgan from
Oh,
Electric
man.
Forest. And then when we went to when we won the free tickets to Escape Halloween with our art for Hollywood Toys and Costumes, here's a signed Gengar cap.
That's incredible.
We were talking about Boogie T earlier and shenanigans, and I just wanted to show you the little piece of what Jordan and I are and like what we keep.
I love that. I love the backboard to bring that kind of story back to a full circle here. And Gengar, man, talk about my favorite Pokemon. I have a couple Gengar hats myself, so shout out to that sweet Gengar hat. And I'm really excited to, kind of jump into the next part of our podcast because there's so much to come. Like we could literally recap all of 2024, amazing festival after amazing festival. And for you guys, it sounded like a benchmark year. And 2025 is already shaping up to be incredible.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, it is.
Man, what do we got on the docket? Phoenix Lights,
Riddim Nights
this weekend.
7. All the proceeds to that benefit LA wildfire relief.
Yeah.
So shout out Optics to put that event on. So we got a piece for Optics.
We got a piece for Optics.
And
Awesome.
then, like I said, 214 Valentine's Day, barely alive at Colonel Ben's, and then we've got multiple festivals
Jeez.
lined up.
Yeah.
We're looking at a lot of work in front of us.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Hercules when like he pulls out the contract and then he just it's like, let me show you my dance card.
Oof, okay. What's next?
Bebop, you gotta see the list. There's a list that's got everybody's name on it for the pieces that we need to be making, and
That's awesome.
It's like
it's a list.
It is a list.
So my list is much shorter, but in chronological order, I just came from seeing Levity at the Sun Bar. Excuse me, let me start that over. So I just came from seeing Champagne Drip at the Sun Bar, and that was incredible. Like Champagne Drip goes hard. Talk about somebody who will shake the ceiling with the bass. And so after that, Level Up at the end of February, so right after this podcast release, and our VIP episode 3 guest Input will be one of the openers along with Sed's Vortex, who are both incredible local DJs, definitely fit the vibe. And so shout out to them. And I've got some special rave loot for that one specifically, but I'll get a little bit more into my sweet rave loot.
Special rave loot.
Man, I bet that was a good one. That
sounded like it was a good one.
So I love the candy trade. Like I don't normally wear my candy during the episode, but I figure if I'm gonna rock the Perler, I gotta rock the candy. And I love to pass out trinkets as well. So like in my like fanny pack, I normally carry around rune stones that are on crystals, and I give people like a reading about their fortune, and they get to look at it and then take that with them. And then if you're like part of my special rave fam, I give them a little totem that's like, soapstone or gemstone, and it's like an eagle or an owl or a bear or something, and like they get to pull at random, so whichever one picks them. And for some reason, it always matches like their personality, their vibe. It's crazy that some people call it magic. I just say that you guys are the magic.
I love that. It works though. It's real, man. I'm telling you.
It really is. It really is. And Bebop, with that being said, I love that because I also carry a pouch for Jordan and I when we go out.
Nice.
Yeah, it's the tchotchke bag. And, specifically this last week, I was at Versa, Construct, Rip Off, Back to Back, Brian FÄMM, and Party City was going out of business.
He's
shout out that boy Brian FÄMM.
He's our guest right before you guys, so like we're literally shouting at the guy they just listened to, and his DJ set that opened up for you guys.
Hey, I love it. So Bebop, I saw King Rave there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Party City went out of business, so all of their like little like party favor goods and stuff were 40% off.
Nice.
I filled a bag full of unicorn ducks, and I handed out probably 45 ducks. Just the during literally the best part was during rip off back-to-back FÄMM, and I was just in the middle of the demon summoning pit going on, just handing people ducks like on the side, and I got rid of every single duck that night.
That's incredible. I have a collection of all the rave loot I've gotten over time, and I have a whole line, a little family of duckies. And so, shout out to the ducks.
Shout out to the ducks.
So right after going to level up, we're going to Cyclops Desert day 1 and day 2. You guys going to Cyclops Desert?
We will be in Cyclops Desert. In fact,
Cyclops.
we got a little piece for
I'll let you take it
Oh,
right here.
snap.
Mr. Japanese.
this. We got this Oni mask right here that we made for Dennett. It says Dennett in katakana at the bottom, as much as I could do it too. And then it says sword in kanji up here. So
Cyclops Oni Mask Perler. Well done. Well done, gentlemen. Piece of art.
Thank you.
So I'm a little jealous. That's incredible. But I know at least any listener who's listened to a couple episodes has heard me talk about my Cyclops Desert swagger, right? The stuff that I'm giving out, the stuff that my wife is also giving out. We have been stocking up specifically for Cyclops Desert because, man, I love Subtronics. And it's like Mersive on day 1 and with Headaches, and on day 2 we got Alley Cat and Enzo. So that whole vibe is gonna be like the best Wook-based crowd. Look at that! That's amazing.
Subtronic. I like it. Subtronics one for you, my G.
Hell yeah! So you know what our goal needs to be, right? So my secret wish is that at Cyclops Desert I can give Subtronics one of the Cyclops eye straws that I have. And get a picture with that, right? Like that would just
be great.
These are from 1997. These were Taco Bell toys that are older than half the rave crowd.
That's true.
More than that.
Yeah, more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have a bunch that are in plastic still. So for anybody like doesn't want the German one, and I've been collecting them for a while, so we're gonna give those out. And we got some eyeball gummies.
Save 2. Make sure you're at least saving 2, Bebop.
Oh, without a doubt. You know that. It goes without saying that some people deserve premium rave loot, and you guys, if you ask me, it's like, okay, trade me a candy, love it. You know, trade me a trinket, even better. But some people, it's their first time. Giving me the best plur they can possibly give is good enough, right? Peace, love, unity, respect. I'm there with you. But
I love almost more when someone gives you candy and they're like, this is like from my first vlog, you know. It's like I don't care what it is, like the energy off that thing, I'm like, oh my god.
Oh, yes.
You shouldn't be getting me this. You can't give me this.
The generosity from people is incredible.
That's
and
great.
so if anybody is listening to this and they're going to Cyclops Desert and they want a Cyclops straw and they don't want to bring me premium rave loot, they can use the password Bebop, which you guys know as my kind of rave handle, my Instagram handle, and they will get a premium Cyclops Monster Eye straw from me.
Bebop! Password Bebop!
That's the code word, that's the password. And I don't even, like, I'm not one of those people who's like, use my code for whatever. No, not a nothing. I was like, it's gonna be my name, you get a straw. Shout it out. You can see me across the crowd, be like, that's
I was just gonna say, you guys better shout that out.
I mean, we will.
We will, definitely.
I'm gonna be looking for you.
Right. It'll be awesome. I'm so stoked. And so that's my premium rave loot for Cyclops Desert, which you guys are both going to be there, and you have an incredible perler to give away, of course.
One of more to come.
Oh yeah,
As we get closer to the event, you know, we cranked out the pieces, but it's all based off of a calendar system for German. It's what's up next. We have to make sure that we have to get at least, you know, 5
amount of commissions.
Yeah,
X amount of commissions for a festival.
Yep, exactly. So it's got to go, you know, a calendar system like that.
Definitely. After Cyclops Desert, on my dance card, I think is Phoenix Lights.
We will absolutely be going to Phoenix Lights. That is going to be one of our next like bigger ones. We're going to be bringing a lot of good stuff for Phoenix Lights. So
Dude,
that is what we're keeping an eye out for. working on. I don't know. Do you want?
Yeah, I'll take over. I'll take over for here. Bebop, we're right at that 1K barrier, basically.
Oh, snap.
Where we will be giving away
As part of our
1K giveaway, a ticket to Phoenix Lights.
No way.
With an alien themed perler.
Yep.
That will be going along with it for the first place winner.
Dang.
And the second place winner will be getting a Squishmallow and a cuff. And gosh, I think she put 1 or 2 singles in there.
At least that Swish
from our good candy collaborator, Candy Crab.
Candy Crab.
And then that second place prize will also get a smaller four square piece. Yeah, matching piece that goes along with that whole alien themed vibe that we're going with.
Wow. That is so sick. You guys, mad props for that. So you guys are hearing it first, maybe here on RaveDaddy on Ready VIP.
Yes, absolutely, they are. They absolutely are.
Announcement for the contest. I'm sure Chris, who's listening to this right now in his headphones as he's going in to edit clips out of this, is gonna definitely put this on Instagram too. So be on the lookout for the plug.
Cheers,
Super
Chris.
exciting. Yeah. So after that, Zed's dead.
We'll take B.
We'll take B.
Tape
Yeah.
B. Yo,
Yeah.
tape B.
You know, we kind of almost. There's a whole story.
There's
the tape B.
Bebop, if you'd like to hear the Tape B story, I guess I'll let Jordan inform you on the Tape B story if you want to hear it.
Well, let's flip that over to B side, and we can talk about that in the green room. And I definitely want to hear that story. I love Tape B, but I'm curious where your feelings lie. It sounds like there's a
It's a Bebop. We love Tape B.
We love tape B.
It's a hilarious story that goes with us giving a piece to Daily Bread and Tape B being in the background, looking upset that we didn't get.
Not that we didn't, but he's just like, wow, like that looks so sick. He looks so happy. Like no one gave me a crazy one.
Yeah, it's a.
And we're like, damn, now we have to make. One
now we got to make one for Tape B because clearly Tape B would like a crazy tape monster.
yes.
Or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
100%, and if you guys don't go, I will give it to him. I have no problem. I'll be there worshiping from the side.
Like, I'll give this crazy art to him. No problem.
Dude, I will.
I love it. I appreciate it.
I'll bring a light up sign that says "Yo Tape B" and it just points to the Perler.
Oh my god.
So that's awesome. Super excited about Zed's Dead. We have an incredible lineup coming up. And is there anywhere that you want people to meet you? Like if you're like, all right, the next place to find me, if this is your side quest, where can they side quest to you?
Well, Riddim Nights for sure this weekend. We'll be up there.
2/7.
2/7.
Friday night,
Phoenix.
So that just happened after this release. You're living in the future and the past at the same time.
Okay, go middle. So I would say 214, or is that still too?
That's probably fine.
214. We'll be at General Ben's for Barely Alive with Hades. So we will have plenty of candy, plenty of tradables. We're gonna be making a piece for Barely Alive.
Yep.
In the next
giant
couple
head.
Yeah.
Love it.
And then let's see, what's in March?
Oh gosh.
Cyclops Desert's in March.
Cyclops Desert. Yeah, we will be there.
Cyclops
We will be there.
Desert.
Cyclops Desert, so you can side quest us. We'll have
We'll be there, and every time we're there, you can find us. We'll have something.
We will have
We'll have
all
something
sorts
to
of
get.
trinkets, candy, things to assist in your rave fun events.
Yep. Obviously, Phoenix Lights will be there.
Yep.
And,
Electric Forest.
Yeah, I was gonna say later in the year we are absolutely gonna be at Electric
June
Forest.
is June for
All right.
Electric Forest is our
Yep.
big one. And then more likely than not, if Relentless Beats does Coconino Camp Out,
Yeah, we love
We do that.
Coconino, we love
Skate
Skate,
Halloween,
you know,
Insomniac.
Dusk,
Gosh, yeah, I really want
Decadence.
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse would be fun.
Apocalypse is, Sans Lost Land.
Sans Lost Lands, which we'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe Lost
We
Lands.
we sent an email, but we'll see what happens.
I love that. Definitely running down, like I think we said it in the green room earlier, just like run back last year's Relentless Beats festivals. Let's do it again.
Let's
Like,
do it again.
Let's do all the Relentless Beats
If it ain't
festivals.
broke, you know.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, you know, don't fix it. Coco,
was good.
Dallas, Decadence. Wow.
So-
What can I say?
we could talk all day about all the amazing festivals and all the sweet like perlers, and you guys have an plethora of stories. So we're definitely going to have you back to recap future shenanigans as return guests.
We'd love
Because
it.
it's a story that writes itself. I can't wait to have you on again. But before we go, in this, I always like to have something that either the listeners can play along with. We'll do a top 5 or a best 3, or I'll have you, pick your favorite Pokemon, whatever it happens to be. I see a lot of Pokemon back there. Shout out. But
Always
Yeah, a lot of levity Pokemon. The Tropius. Tropius base head beads that we did with like a completely different head design on it.
We actually just got rid of like a couple.
Yeah, we got rid of quite a bit. We had a levity Doug trio on there.
amazing. That's the perfect Pokemon. Gotta now you need a Magneton, a Levity Magneton.
Oh yeah, see,
Executor.
Do Trio.
Do Trio, for sure.
Levity.
Or you could do like the 3 Mystic Birds, like Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres.
Alright, dogs. Alright. I guess you gotta be in the workshop for the creative ideas session here.
Oh, for sure. Like just invite me. I'm there. We'll have the best time.
Love it.
There we go.
So in our fun little shenanigans, I want to take, and it could be more personal, it could be fun, it could be crazy shenanigans knowing the two of you. Last year we had a absolute stack of just great festivals, and you probably have a stack of good memories to talk about. But I want you to go in, I want you to grab your cracker and scoop out the caviar, right? I want the best premium #1 memory from last year for the 2024 year. I want you to feed us that wonderful, beautiful pearl of awesomeness, because after the benchmark year you had meeting artists and giving perlers, there has to be one, at least one, if not 10, moments that make you want to cry, that make you lay there at night in bed and go, damn, that's a good memory.
That one's yours, and that one's mine.
I don't know. That one is pretty great.
Well, this one's mine. I'll tell either. Both of those are like
This one though is kind of like
That one looks like it has a story compared to the other ones for sure.
this
This is almost like
it's almost like a religion.
all right. So we go to
Jordan's gonna tell his story first right now, Vivo.
we go to Electric Forest, right? And Electric Forest has like obviously there was people may say there was a lot of ups and downs. A lot of the sets got like canceled because of weather and XYZ. It was absolutely incredible. Like there's some sort of actual magic over that forest, like
Hell yeah.
something special about that place. And we're there one night and we end up
Gets rained out.
it gets rained out. We're at a set, it gets rained out. We're in full costume as Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
No way.
Like
Give me the
psychos, man.
picture. I'm totally
Right,
putting
how
that in the
big is
podcast.
Barnacle Boy, 100%.
Like psycho. People are like, where's the invisible boatmobile? We're like, right here. We have a whole skit.
Yes.
So at the end of the night, all of a sudden, it gets rained out, and we end up with a homie. And you know what? We just end up losing this spoon of ours that we had. This little spoon that we needed. And we're walking around. The rest of the day was great. End of the night, we're walking around at 3, 4 a.m.
Yep.
And we're looking at all of this garbage on the floor of the forest. And we're like, what is up with this? All these people going happy forest, and they're just throwing their trash everywhere.
Yeah,
so
that's not
we
right.
stop and we're like, you know what? It's not a lot, but we'll pick up at least a couple handfuls, do our part, and like throw some
Net
stuff out.
net positive. Net positive.
So
Right.
we're throwing stuff out.
Everybody does their part.
And this woman, and we're like, damn, I can't believe that spoon's gone. And this lady walks up to us.
She works there.
And she's like, you guys don't have to do that. And we're like, no, like, it's fine. We want to do this. It's like shitty you have to deal with that. And she's like, oh, well, thanks. And she bends down and goes, hey, Do you guys want this?
Yeah, sure.
And it is this ratatouille
Oh, whoa.
like spoon.
The
that
spoon
we
came
ended up-
back.
It's like numbered,
Wow.
and we ended up stringing it all with food base head beads. So this is Rataspoony, and that shit. It was so wild. It was so surreal to like have the magic of that forest to like kind of like weirdly be
Give
this
us
like
something back.
of all
Mm.
places right there of all people and all times, and we like picked up the garbage. That moment for me was like such a crazy just moment of this is why we do exactly this too. You know, it's all about just like a community giving back, like helping each other out. It's
I love that.
to have it be like such a weird moment of giving back presented.
Okay, I got my one. Okay, that one, Jordan is a highlight of my life. Not even my.
This one's equal to me.
So, I'm actually gonna tell something. I'm gonna tell something different, Jordan. I'm gonna tell you something different. So, we're going to Escape Halloween, and we ended up getting free tickets to Escape Halloween via our art.
Awesome.
And so we brought our DJ buddy Last Chance with us because what's funny is Jordan and I had already bought tickets, so we had a free ticket to basically give
That's
away.
the best, man. Bring your fam with you.
So the headliners were Dog Eat Dog.
Yes, Craig Dad and Riot 10, let's go.
Crank Dad and Riot 10. So Jordan and I are going, man, we got to make something for Crank That and Riot 10.
We have to make a dog.
We have to make a dog eat dog. And we're debating, going along with it. And I end up going, Jordan, what's the worst that's going to happen? Nobody's going to respond.
Yeah, just message them. Let's just message them.
And Riot 10 ends up hitting us back and going, I want Courage the Cowardly Dog.
And we're like,
Yes,
done. We're like,
Courage,
done.
the cowardly
Done.
dog.
We're like,
Done.
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 Courage. Perfect.
So we end up making Courage. We put a dog tag on it that says
Riot 10, and then if lost, return to Eustace and Muriel bag.
Amazing.
And so we make that one, and then we make a Crank Dog. So it's like a Tamagotchi.
You know those 90s robo dogs?
Yes.
So we make that one, and Jordan and I then get side stage because Crank That is doing a.
Yeah, we're first, like our whole thing is we'll find a way to get it to them.
We'll find a way to get.
We don't know. We're in the sewer district going, how do we get this to them? Like, this is crazy. So Taylor ends up looking, he's like, Crank That is having a side stage show as Shake That.
Yeah.
At the
Nice.
beatbox stage. And we're like, this is it.
This is how we get the piece. So we end up, doing our thing, giving the, tchotchkes, little trinkets, being kind people, and we end up getting on stage with Crank That on the beatbox stage, and we give Crank That the piece for him and Riot 10, and we have all of this on video, Bebop, and Crank That literally pulls Jordan in and I in for
Just
this
like,
dap,
oh my
because
God,
at one
thank
point
Like,
he
thank
pulls up his glasses to see what he is looking at, and it's just like
it has dog tags.
it has dog tags, and the other one says crank dog, if lost, return to Crank That. And so he's seeing all of this, and
And literally it was just, here's those. Thank you
Here's
so much.
those.
We'll see you guys in the pit.
Yep.
We got some more pieces to go.
and we just popped off the stage, and he
Awesome.
played a set, and that was the end of that was the end of that. That was a pretty good.
that was
a
Dude,
pretty
I
good
need
one.
to get into the Perler business because it is how you meet DJs apparently. Damn.
you definitely can.
Gosh,
But it's really it is just about like the giving aspect of it, but
Yes.
it's not like we need any part of it, like we did with the Steve Aoki, Sometimes if you can't directly give it to them, like face to face, having the ability to have somebody give it to them and they know that like it was gifted to them,
in this city, yeah.
adds a certain other level of like I think like happiness, greatness for us on it because you let somebody else experience the joy of giving that to them because nothing beats watching the face of somebody when you give one of these to them. They're just going, oh my, for me, like what? And when you get to pass that experience to give that to somebody too, like they get to go, this is for you, and they watch them just what? It's like, yeah, it's
and Bebop with to compound on top of what Jordan says. If you watch the 2024 recap on our page, it is just countless and countless instances of Jordan and I surprising these DJs with these pieces of art, and they're going, "Holy,
I love
cannoli, what? This is for me."
yes, it's for you.
Yeah,
We love you.
yes, we love you. This is for you, and we just give them the piece, ask for nothing, and walk away to the side.
The countless hours that we put in listening to their music just because it brings us joy.
Exactly. You are there performing for how many people today of how many days of the year, you know, not including everything else. Here's something for you. Like here's something to give back that has like thought behind it. You know, it's like we're trying to provide
We're
you
molding
something.
it
Yes, like,
around your personality.
yes, to what we at least are like.
No, well, what we can know. I don't know you deep internally, but like from what I can see, who you are.
That is awesome. You guys are awesome. I know that we're going to have a lot of fun together, and it's been
Yes,
great getting to
absolutely.
know you. Looking forward to seeing you at Cyclops Desert very soon. Um, Is
Absolutely.
there any shout outs you want to give in the outro here? Is there anything you want to say that you didn't get a chance to say? Now is the time to give me your best 60 seconds.
Let me just give a couple right here.
Give me a 30
Shout out Basehead Beats. Shout out Top Tier Beats.
Those beads look awesome.
Two of our major, if not our actual two
Backbone.
backbone bead companies.
I've got a little shout out for all of the homies out there. Shout out Not Lad. Shout out Leister Jide. That's the boy right there.
Yes, that's the guy. I love that guy.
Shout out Use. Shout out Last Chance. Shout out Levity. Shout out Dylan.
Hell
shout
yeah.
out Tarina Ye.
Shout out Relentless Beat.
Shout out. Yeah,
Definitely shout out.
Big time shout out Thomas Turner. That gave him a crazy tiger piece.
Shout out Chad.
Yeah, Chad. And the last thing that I guess I want to say is that 1K giveaway. I know we talked about it. Free ticket to Phoenix Lights, custom artwork from us, custom artwork from Candy Crab. It will be your festival package for the rest of the year. This will be what you need for the rest of your year. Is what you will get from us in our 1K giveaway.
Absolutely. And also, shout out RaveDaddy.
Shout out RaveDaddy.
Hey.
And shout out Bebop, man. Thanks for having us, brother.
Of course, it's been an absolute pleasure, and I know that the audience is certainly probably either laughing themselves to death or just along for the awesome Plur ride that we've had today. I know I'm going to sign off here feeling super good about it, but I always like to give the guest the opportunity to have the last word. So, gentlemen, would you like to say, roll the music?
Roll the music.
Best friend energy.
Ready.